Welcome back, Forging friends. We are on the 9th deck of this Dark Tidings unboxing. Let's see what we have in store for us today. Starting off with Sanctum, Unfathomable, and Star Alliance. We've got Text Changer Development Boatswain. That's an interesting name. Very flowery kind of looking Archon there today. Got some spikes. Must be a rose. A yellow rose. Interesting. Let's see what we got in here. Dropping down the Archon card and the Tide card. We have, starting with Unfathomable. We have Sink or Swim. It's an action card with play. Choose one. Your opponent discards a random card from their hand, or exhaust a creature and each of its neighbors. Very versatile card. Got some disruption in there, and some creature control. Rakuzal's Chant. An action card with an Amber Pip. Play, exhaust a creature. If the tide is high, exhaust each creature instead. Great to use as an end of the turn card. Photic Raider, 2-power creature. When you play it, you capture 2, and while the tide is high, Photic Raider gets +4 power. We've got Maelstrom. Play, put each creature on top of its owner's deck in a random order and gain 2 chains. Kind of a pseudo board wipe. 2 of those. Horrid Sinon, a 4-power creature with a capture pip and poison. Guiltspine Netcaster, 2-power creature that enhanced a couple capture pips, and when you reap, you exhaust a creature. Could be handy. Frigorific Rod, an artifact with an Amber Pip. Action, exhaust a creature or artifact. Kind of some pseudo artifact control. We got 2 of those too. Nice. We have Tomwa of the Glow, a 3-power creature with reap. Exhaust a creature. If the tide is high, draw a card for each exhausted enemy creature. Wow, with those Frigorific Rods, we could potentially get a lot of draws off of that. That's some good potential efficiency there. Echo Pearl, artifact with an Amber Pip. Omni, destroy Echo Pearl, exhaust, stun, and enrage a creature. Wow, just basically remove a creature from the game for a while. We have the rare creature, Taniwa, an 8-power, 2-armor creature. Fight, reap, destroy a friendly creature, and gain an Amber. Oh, wow. Okay. So we have to keep a lookout for any good destroyed abilities. I don't think we have any good destroyed abilities at the moment, but that's a really cool card. I mean, get an extra Amber for reaping. So 2 Amber for reaping and 1 for fighting. And with that power, that could be really, really good. Moving on to Star Alliance, we have the action card Zap with an Amber Pip. Play, deal 1 damage to a creature for each house represented among creatures in play. So up to 6 damage. Very nice, usually. Unity or Discord, action card with play, choose one, use a friendly non-Star Alliance creature, or return up to 2 friendly creatures and each upgrade attached to them to their owner's hands. Looking for upgrades then. Very nice. Technobabble, action card with an Amber Pip, play a stun a creature and each of its neighbors that shares a house with it. So some good creature control in here so far. Shield You Later, 3-power, 2-armor creature, and maybe played as an upgrade with the text, this creature gets +2 armor. 2 of those. Officer's Blaster, an upgrade with an Amber Pip. This creature gets +2 power, and this creature gains destroyed. Attach Officer's Blaster to this creature's right neighbor. I like this. It can bounce around. 2 of those. Very nice. Diplomat Agung, a 2-power creature with play, fight, reap. For the remainder of the turn, a friendly creature belongs to the house of your choice in addition to its other houses. More using cards off house is great. CR Officer Hawkins, a 2-power creature with deploy, and gain 1 Amber for each of CR Officer Hawkins' non-Star Alliance neighbors. Nice quick 2 Amber there. CXO Tabor, a 3-power creature with fight, reap. You may play or use a non-Star Alliance card this turn. Colonist Chapman, a 3-power creature with an enhanced capture pip. He's got taunt, and each of Colonist Chapman's non-Star Alliance neighbors gains reap, gain an Amber. Can be really, really good. Away Team, a 5-power creature with destroyed. Put each upgrade on Away Team into its owner's archives. Pretty handy. We have Strange Ordination, an action card with 3 Amber Pips in Sanctum, I should say, and play only if the tide is high. So that's a big Amber swing if the tide is high. Fantastic. Sir Bevor, a 1-power, 5-armor creature with taunt. So really you need to have a 6-power creature or at least to fight through this guy. Marshal Ewer, a 4-power, 2-armor creature with play, fight, raise the tide. Just a really nice free way to raise the tide. Love having those. Larry of the Lake, a 3-power creature with no armor, and while the tide is high, each friendly creature gets +2 armor. Heal or Harm, action card with play, choose one, fully heal a creature and gain 1 Amber, or ready and fight with a friendly creature. I like these versatile cards. Hammergram.
Stop. Hammer time.
An action card with play, deal 3 damage to a creature and stun it. We have a Badge Magus, a 4-power creature with deploy, and fight, ready and fight with each of Badge Magus's neighbors one at a time. Interesting card. We have 2 of her. Nice. Gorm of Om, an artifact with Omni, destroy it, and destroy an artifact. First or last is an action card with play. Choose one. Purge each creature with the highest power, or purge each creature with the lowest power. Really versatile. And we have Orb of Wonder, a rare artifact with Omni. Destroy it, and if you do, search your deck for a card and put it into your hand. Shuffle your deck. Very cool. Always useful to have that card. And last card is Charge, the rare action card with an Amber Pip. Play for the remainder of the turn. Each creature you play gains play. Deal 2 damage to an enemy creature. Wow, each creature you play against that. So yeah, if we have I think a few Sanctum creatures here that we can use for that. So yeah, I'll do the counts and we'll go ahead and get those done, and I'll be right back.
All right, welcome back to my desktop. I have the deck pulled up here, and it's an interesting deck. It's got one kind of major flaw. If you're looking at the counts here on the left, you might be able to see it already, but let's go through this in order. So we have 17 creatures, not a bad, like a little bit above average number of creatures. 5 in Unfathomable, 7 in Star Alliance, and 5 in Sanctum. So not a bad distribution. We should be able to see our creatures pretty often. Looking at Amber on the cards, we have 13 Amber on the cards. The that one, Strange Ordination, is the one that's really helping us with that. We really want to make sure we play that every game when possible, because it's like a major chunk of our Amber, or easy Amber. But we have a lot of creatures that also give us Amber. We have that Seer Officer Hawkins in Star Alliance. And we have the Taniwa that we can use to destroy some creatures. I don't think we had that many or any really destroyed abilities, unfortunately, but Taniwa is still a very powerful creature. And since we have a decent number of creatures that may or may not be, they're used up, and then we can kind of get rid of them for that effect, I think it's worthwhile, especially maybe mid to late in the game. So that's interesting. Now we're going to see the major downside of this deck is the Amber control. There is literally one card in this entire deck that offers us any Amber control, which is really unfortunate. I believe, I think it's a Unfathomable card. It's, I think, it's Odic Raider. Yep, the one that captures 2 Amber. That's the only Amber control we have in this entire deck, believe it or not. Nothing else controls keys or amber, so we're not going to be able to mess with our opponent's game plan at all. If you're playing a deck like this with very little or basically 0 amber control, you're really going to have to race, right? It does make up for it a little bit in other areas, but I don't think there's any redeeming this low of amber control unless you're facing a deck that also has very little amber generation somehow. I don't know that you can a deck will have this little amber generation, but maybe I'll be proved wrong. So 1 Amber control, 2 Artifact control, because I'm counting these Frigorific Rods as 1, since they don't really destroy the artifact, they exhaust it. So we have that, and then we also have the Orb of Gom, where is it? I'm blanking on it right now. Yeah, Gorm of Om. That's the one that destroys an artifact as well. We have 2 Artifact control, which isn't bad. Creature control, we have 14, so all of our Amber control went into creature control for some reason in this deck. We have so many things that control creatures. A few things that damage creatures and exhaust creatures. So a few ways of kind of mitigating our opponent's creatures, controlling their board, which is what this deck is going to have to do if it hopes to keep up with the opponent's Amber generation. So that's a thing that you really got to make sure you start, mulligan for a hand that's got a lot of creature control, and hope they don't have too many cards that just have natural Amber on them. Efficiency, we have 4.5 because we have actually a few things that let us draw cards from the deck. Depending, I think we have one that lets us draw for every exhausted creature the opponent has. I'm blanking. I think they're that Tom of the Glow. So if the Tidings High, draw a card for each exhausted enemy creature. So we have stuff like that. We have things that let us use creatures off house. A lot of off house use from Star Alliance. And then Badge Magus, we can fight things off house, so that counts for like half efficiency. So a lot of really good ways of using cards off house in this deck, which we'll need to kind of keep up again. Recursion I have at 1, and Disruption I have at 1. I think there's maybe some Unfathomable card that lets us discard a card from our opponent's hand. you know, I also subtract a little bit of efficiency because with Maelstrom, we're likely to put one of our own creatures on top of our deck, so that kind of reduces our efficiency a little bit. But as far as recursion disruption goes, we have a couple things that let us, I think just a couple cards really that let us do things like that in here. So yeah, I mean, overall, kind of disappointing. It's got a lot of really cool cards. I like the Taniwa. I like the Orb of Wonder in there, adding to the efficiency. We can get any card we want on any turn. It's really nice. Any card that's still in our deck, I guess. But I think because of the lack of Amber control, it's going to be rated pretty low. I would say this is going to be rated pretty low. That's what I'd guess. I'm going to guess, you know, everything kind of ranges between the 60s and 70s for the most part. I'm going to guess maybe in the low 60s on this one. You know, there's just no excuse for not being able. I mean, you got to be able to keep up with your opponent's game plan if you're hoping to win any games on average in any kind of competitive setting. So I'm going to give this a 63 and be pleasantly surprised if it ends up being higher than that. So 63 is what I'm locking in. Go ahead and make your guesses now. Let's go to Decks of Keyforge here. And I've got the link copied. So yeah, again, I'm locking in my 63. Go ahead and make your guesses and let's see what this deck has. 55, even worse. Yeah, like I say, the Amber control is so important. Amber control is what really makes a deck competitive. You know, you need that Amber control. So 55 base arc, 3 synergy, -3 meta. Our Amber control is Photic Raider. Oh yeah, Guildspline Netcaster. That's right. I forgot about that because they did add a couple of capture pips. I didn't count those, but still, I mean, look at that. Very, very little Amber control. Not really much that will stop any half competitive opponent. 2 different cards that offer artifact control. You know, decent Amber generation. Nothing that takes away Amber. That Strange Ordination, of course, is the best thing. A little bit of speed there with Orb of Wonder. We have the Strange Ordination taking away some because we're always going to have to take the Tide with that. I always forget to do that, to factor that in. Disruption, Maelstrom, Sink or Swim, first or last. I forgot to put Maelstrom in Disruption because it's messing with our opponent's draws, so that's also a thing. Yeah, so, and then 17 creatures. Looking at our synergies and anti-synergies. Tabor is great. So Tabor is great with things that protect creatures. We have a few cards that offer Tabor some protection, so we can get a lot of use off of that, you know, that after fight, after reap ability. Lots of anti-synergy with first or last, because we have 2 power creatures, and then we have 7+ power creatures. We have a big range of creatures, so no matter what we use that first or last for, something's going to die, it seems like, on average. Diplomat Agung has 85% because it's, you know, another creature that needs protection. -25% with charge, low creature count. It says we have a low creature count. I don't think we have that low of a creature count. 17 is not terrible. Looking at Guildspine Netcaster, more things that protect creatures. So we have a lot of ways of protecting creatures, a lot of ways of dealing damage to our opponent's creatures, which is nice. Badge Mages causes fighting. Healer Harm, Diplomat Agung, and Unity or Discord are helped by that. So really, you know, kind of a below average synergy situation here, and just a lack of Amber control. So I could see this coming. I mean, this makes sense. It doesn't really have that many redeeming factors. I'm just always wanting to rate decks higher than they. I'm always wanting to give a deck a chance. I mean, I would give this one a chance, but you know, honestly, not having anything to fall back on in terms of Amber control is really, really tough in any competitive format. So go ahead and leave below what you guys thought the SAS would be. Did you guess somewhere in the 50s? Because then, you know, you're better than me on that. Yeah, if you like this video, leave a like. And if you want to see more videos like this, please subscribe. I'll see you all in the next one. Have a great day. Bye-bye.